Hey, hey, hey. It's Bashana coming back to you one more time. How are you guys doing? I am, as you saw, or as you can see, I am going to be talking to you about assets and liabilities tonight, but not in the way that you normally think of assets and liabilities. And the big difference is going to be we're not talking about your bank account or your 401k or your equity in your home. We're talking about you and the value and the worth that you have within yourself and that you bring to your employment. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight. And I'm excited to get right to it. So, hello, welcome to this live. And as you come in, as always, in the comments, just say hello so I know who's on and so I can say hello back. I think I finally have my technical difficulties situated so I can at least see when something pops up on my screen, because I was having those problems with the phone for a very long time. But at any rate, I am, and usually I talk about something random, but nothing that I really want to talk about tonight is coming to mind. So we're just going to go ahead and get into it so I can get to some dinner. Just got home from work and coming to start my second shift. So if you're catching this on the replay, type replay in the comments so that we'll know that you saw this after the broadcast ended. So I am Bashana Weatherspoon, career strategist and excellence accelerator, helping women who feel frustrated in their careers to emerge from that stuckness and surge to their next level of success, whatever that looks like for them. And that's the great part about it, because we all get to decide what we want out of our lives, what we want out of our careers, and we get to determine what our next level is based upon what we want and what's right for us. I'm also the host of the Know Your Worth Career podcast, which is all about helping women who have gotten to a place in their careers where they're feeling like they don't have any room for growth. They don't have a whole lot of career movement opportunities, and whether that's true or whether that's just a perception, it does not matter, because we give information, have guests on to give expertise to help women, and not necessarily just women, but of course that's my target. Yes, right, women, to move to their next level of success. So anyway, I am on because, in case you're not really sure if this is the broadcast for you, this is about careers. So if you are one of these people who needs some help with your career, I'm on nightly talking about issues related to women in their careers primarily, and helping to find solutions, providing tips, giving advice, suggestions about how to maneuver some of those difficult situations that we experience in the workplace. So before I get into the content, I want to invite you to tag a friend, invite them to this live, especially if they are trying to figure out how they can add more value at work. And share the video. Sharing is caring. This is the giving season. This is the Christmas season. Press the little share button at the bottom of your screen and share this as a gift to someone who could really use this kind of information right now. So anyway, as I said, we're talking about, are you an asset or a liability? And if you are a liability, we're going to give you some tips to help you to become an asset, a value-added asset to your employer. Because you want to not only have that job, you also want to keep the job and you want to excel in the job. So that's what this is all about. And I know that a lot of people feel undervalued and under-recognized in their jobs. It's just the fact. A lot of people feel that way. They feel that what they do does not matter, that nobody recognizes their efforts and their contributions in their organization, and it leaves them feeling some kind of way, believe it or not. And then some are just downright running scared that at any given moment, somebody is going to pop up and say, we don't need you anymore. Or, you're pretty much your services are no longer needed. We can say it in all kinds of ways that we want to. But the bottom line is that they're fearful of not being able to keep their job. And they're wondering if the proverbial axe is going to fall, day after day after day. And that's a terrible way to live. That's a terrible way to approach your job, your work, your career. It's just a terrible way of being. And that's why it's a good idea to always have a mindset of adding value to your employer so that you can prove yourself to be indispensable. And you'll be the last person that they think of terminating, laying off, whatever else they do with people. You'll be the last person that comes to mind because you're so valuable. They see that they need you there, helping that organization to run smoothly. So if you are, or when you are contributing more than you are costing your employer, contribute more than you cost, because you do have a cost. There's a cost associated with having you there. Then you're much more likely to be recognized, and people are going to want to keep you around and promote you. Okay? And that's what we're talking about. So it's not enough just to do your job and just to do your job well. And I know a lot of people feel like, well, if I come to work and I do my job, I've done what I need to do and I can go home. Well, you can. But if you're looking to excel, you're looking for those promotional opportunities, those once in a lifetime, opportunities that just a lucky few get, that's not going to cut it. So I'm going to share with you some strategies to help you to become an invaluable asset to your employer. So here we go. Is everybody ready? Get your paper and pencil out. Let's start taking a few notes. I have a few tips for you. And the first one is to focus on ways to increase. Focus on ways to increase profits and further your company's mission. And this is not the first time you heard me say that before, but you want to increase the profits, use your creative thinking, and brainstorm ways that you can help the company to operate more efficiently. That's a great thing to do, because if you can come up with some ideas about efficiencies, that's going to be great. It's going to be great for you, and people are going to notice it because they're going to notice that things run better. This is a good way to capture your boss's attention, right from the start and for the right reasons. Some other things you could do is suggest ideas that will help to increase sales. And that's a good thing. To reduce costs or otherwise create some other kind of efficiencies. Maybe it's, through the standard operating procedures that you use, or, come up with some kind of unique creative idea that's going to help the company's bottom line. Tip number 2 is to take on additional responsibilities, additional assignments. And some people like to complain about when they're asked to do more things, but volunteering for additional responsibilities in areas that matter. And that's the key point. Don't volunteer to plan the holiday party. Don't volunteer to take notes at the meeting. You can do those things. Those are nice things, but that's not anything that's going to get you noticed, right? You want to volunteer for things that are high priority, that are high visibility for your organization, so that the right people who are in places that they can help you can get to see the outcome, the fruit of your efforts as you're volunteering. or as you're taking on these additional assignments. And while you may not be rewarded with a new title or a higher pay grade immediately, you would definitely distinguish yourself as someone who is worthy of keeping around if cutbacks suddenly become necessary. And you're also top of mind when other opportunities arise because they're going to remember how well you did with the last assignment, and you'll automatically be one of the first people who come up in their minds in terms of who can take on this additional thing that we need to have done. Somebody that we can trust, because that's very important. Tip number 3 is to consider job rotations or cross-training with other teams in your company. And this is a great way to learn new skills and to learn them in a different area. So you're getting a chance for other people to see those skills that you're learning and to get to know you and to see the kind of work that you're capable of producing. It also gives you the opportunity to get a deeper understanding of how the business works, the business that you work for, that is. And that can lead to better career opportunity just in itself. It's a good idea for women in particular to gain some understanding of the company's financials, know what the books look like the money. If you have any opportunity to volunteer for those kinds of things, that would be great, so you can learn the financials behind the business that's running. Another good thing is to learn the business operations, how things operate. Like at the level of the CEO, you have to know all of these things. If that's something that you're aspiring to, it's good to know, even if you're not trying to be at the top of the organization. If you want to be in any kind of position that is important, I mean, like, not that everything is important, but that's the higher level in your company, then you need to know about the business of the business, so to speak. And then you need to know about strategy. So if it's time for strategic planning time, it's a great opportunity to volunteer to be on some of those working groups if you can, because that gives you some idea into the strategy for the next 5-10 years that the company is undertaking or that they're committing to. And having that kind of background information is something that helps you to position yourself so that you can you just position yourself for better opportunities is what it does, actually. And then build collegial relationships. And relationships are just important. They're important at work. They're important at home. They're important if you're a business person. It's really... It's important. That's all I can say. I mean, you don't necessarily have to be besties with everyone at work, but it's beneficial that you have a good working relationship with many people throughout the organization. Because when you get to a certain level, to be in that position and to operate efficiently, you need to be able to reach out across teams, reach out across divisions, reach out across whatever structure your company, reach outside of your company even, so that you can establish connections and relationships to help build collaborations and partnerships. Because, they say, you go further faster when you're working collaboratively with someone or in a team or in a group versus being solo. So this is why it's important. And this is a great asset to have for completing important tasks that require that working across the line, so to speak. What's coming to mind as I'm thinking about Congress and how they have to work across party lines. Well, think about that in your job. You have to work outside of your team and work with other people that are not necessarily a part of your day-to-day, job responsibilities. And then my 5th tip is to focus on continued career growth and development. So you should never stop learning. You should never stop growing your skill set, growing your knowledge base, keeping up with what's going on in your industry. As long as you're going to have a career and you want to be progressive in that career, these are things that you just need to be able to do. So take advantage of opportunities to build your knowledge and skills by taking classes, attending conferences, participating in workshops, all of those things that will expose you to new and different ideas and people. Now, there, of course, are many more things that could be added to this, but I think this is a nice little, consolidated list that can get you started. So that's all I have in terms of how you can add more value to your employer so that you can make yourself indispensable. You want to be the last man even thought about, considered, conceived to be on the chopping block. And these are some ways that you can do that. Now, if you are somebody who is, one step away from, getting a big axe, then it might be time to start to figure out what that next level will look like for you. We talked about at the beginning, the next level. So it might be time to figure out what that might look like for you. So if that's you and you are not quite sure what the heck you want it to be, right? Because you haven't been thinking along those terms, then I have an offer for you. I want to offer you my free 3-part e-course entitled Career on Fire, 3 Steps to Your Next Level. And it is about 60 minutes worth of content broken out into 20-minute or so segments that gives you some information. It gives you some activities to, walk yourself through so that at the end of the e-course, you will have you'll have the beginnings of, the information that you need to be able to decide what it is that your next step should look like. And of course, if you need more help beyond that, I have a solution. So just reach out to me. My website is www.vashanaweatherspoon.com, which is my name. And that's where you can find this 3-part e-course series that you can just, sign up for. It's delivered straight to your inbox. You'll have it tonight and you can get started working on it tonight if this is something that you need. And if it's something that you do not need, but you know somebody who does, please share this information with them. When you do something or you accomplish a certain thing, I feel like it's your duty to help the next person who is further along behind you, to help to bring them forward. So this is what this is. So if this is not something you need, share it with someone who does need it. That's all I have for tonight. I invite you one last time to like and share this video, to tag a friend. Don't forget to let me know if you're seeing it on the replay. Type replay in the comments, and I will see you next time. Have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.